Hey viewers, you're welcome to another episode of Legal Matters brought to you by Studio 77. I am your favorite host, Ajayi Esther. You can also call me Peamat Coice. If this is your first time of watching Legal Matters is a program where we do not just dive into news, but we also talk about your rights, most especially talk about your rights, what actions and inactions shouldn't be done against you. So, if you're watching this program, you're one lucky person because after every episode, you get to know more about your rights and what the law says about them. We'll be diving into 4 different cases, 4 interesting cases to enlighten you more about your rights. Case 1. Can your opinion on social media cost you your freedom or land you in jail in real life? Leads us to this case. In Enugu, Chijioke Nwako, a youth activist, was arrested by the Department of State Services (DSS) after posting a Facebook video criticizing a state official over embezzlement claims. No warrant, no prior invitation. He posted the video and he was arrested. Before arguing, let's see what the court has to say about this. The Federal High Court declared his arrest unconstitutional and ordered the DSS to pay 10 million naira in damages, stating clearly, criticism is not a crime. So this warns us as citizens that freedom of speech is not a gift. It is your constitutional right, and hence you have the right, whether offline or online, you have a voice, you have the right to speak out your freedom of speech. How do I know this? The law says so. Moving on to the next case, that's case 2, and leads me to this question. If the powerful takes what is yours, what is legally yours, do you have a say? Do you have a chance to speak? Well, let's see this case. Mrs. Salami, a widow in Ibadan, was forcibly evicted from a plot of land her late husband bought decades ago. A politician claimed ownership and fenced it off. She fought back in court patiently for 8 long years. 8 long years. Well, before we talk, let's see what the court has to say about this. The Oyo State High Court ruled in her favor, ordering the illegal structure demolished and the land returned to her with 2 million naira in damages for emotional distress. What do I have to say about this? Well, for the fact that she was able to wait 8 years, it could only show her intentionality and how educated she is about her rights. Because a normal person would have just given up. Like the first year, second year, third year, not even going to the 4th year. And she was able to wait to the 8th year, and the court was able to support her, even if I do not totally support them, because I do not like the fact that they gave her just 2 million for 2 million it's not even up to, that's the amount they sell land at this time, and saying they gave her 2 million for damages for emotional distress, emotions, well, it's not enough, and that is how far knowing your rights can go. That's how far it can help you. Knowing your right, not just knowing your rights, knowing what you deserve. The right is the same as knowing what you deserve, and know your rights. Because you don't know how you can help a fellow person, your neighbor, just knowing your rights and knowing, because everyone has equal rights. We all have equal rights. So knowing your rights is knowing your neighbor's rights. Helping yourself is helping your neighbor. Just like this woman, she was able to help herself, even if the court could have done more. But at least we now know the powerful may have influence, but you have the law, and persistence is not weakness. It is your strongest shield in the courtroom. Know that. Moving on to case number 3. What happens when the place meant to heal you becomes the place that hurts you? What happens when the people meant to heal you becomes people that hurt you? I brought it in that sense to make us understand the question. The question is, what happens when the place meant to heal you becomes a place that hurts you. And that brings us to the third case, which happened in Benin City. Mr. Tunde Bello sued a private hospital after his wife died due to wrong medication administered post-surgery. Investigations revealed that the hospital staff misread a chart. That could have been prevented. Well, let's see what the law has to say about this. But remember, we can only check what the law has to say about this just because Mr. Tunde Bello knows is right. Let's see. The Edo State High Court held the hospital liable for negligence and ordered 25 million naira in damages, emphasizing the sanctity of the medical responsibility. And so this judgment reminds us, you don't have to suffer in silence. You don't have to accept suffering. You don't have to accept suffering just because of a silly mistake somebody made. First, know your rights. Don't be scared. Errors should be allowed, but not at the risk of losing lives. Medical errors are not just mistakes. They are violations of your right to life and care. And finally, case 4. Mr. Ibrahim Sani, a senior civil servant in Abuja, was suspended indefinitely over an anonymous petition accusing him of fraud. No hearing, no trial, just silence and shame. Nobody thought of hearing him out, just silence and shame. Well, let's see what the law has to say about this. The National Industrial Court ruled the suspension null and void, ordering his reinstatement and 8 million naira in damages. The court noted that faceless allegations cannot justify punishment. How does this case concern us? This case proves due process, a right that we must all cherish. Accusations is not conviction. Accusations are not convictions. Until proven guilty, you're innocent. Never forget this. It is not right for you to accuse a person who you've not seen do what you're accusing him of. Until proven guilty, you're innocent. Never forget this. And so, this brings us to the end of today's episode on legal matters, brought to you by Studio 77. I hope you're reminded once again about your rights, what your rights are and what you're not, what actions and inactions shouldn't be done against you. This brings us to the end of today's episode of Legal Matters, brought to you by Studio 77. I remain your favorite host, Ajayi Peace Esther. You can also call me Peamat Coice. Let the Lord work for you. Bye.